The important thing for me was to realize that I was invited to bring the non-scientific point of view, that my experience with my son and with other families who had dealt with pediatric oncology, that experience was something that the scientists didn't have, and they asked me to be there to share that wealth of knowledge. I had something important to bring to the table, and actually they were very welcoming. In fact, anytime I expressed my point of view, I could tell by the nods around the table that they understood what I was talking about, and many doctors and scientists indicated that, well, afterwards they would come and talk to me and say, "I'm so glad you brought up that point, I hadn't thought of it." Currently, I'm studying the history of research ethics. And one of the things we've been looking at is how the HIV/AIDS activists worked with the FDA to change the way the FDA monitored and created new drugs and treatments for that disease. The interesting thing was, at the time, the FDA was sort of isolated and not getting a lot of patient input. This changed because of the HIV/AIDS activists, and that actually engendered this entire program of patient representation. Once I look at the history of this, it becomes such an honor to be part of that legacy. Now, truly important points of view are being shared during the design of clinical trials and the review of them and the implementation. It's an incredible piece of history. The key to being an effective patient representative is to prepare. It's not the vocabulary or the language that we are used to. As lay people, we don't understand the language that they speak. We need to prepare, we need to understand what's asked of us. We need to be very particular about not trying to offer scientific comments, but instead to offer the comments that are pertinent to our experience, which is a real person in the world who is participating in this medical treatment or taking this particular drug. That's the experience that we bring. And the trick is to have done your preparation and to remember that they invited you because they need and want to hear from you. I find satisfaction on several levels. First, as the parent of a child who went through a clinical trial, I am grateful to be giving back because the science that is learned, the generalizable knowledge that is gained from clinical study, creates new ways of treating patients in the future. And my son benefited from that, and he's alive today because of that. From the point of view as a subject advocate and global citizen, I think that the bridge between consumers and the people who are developing drugs and treatments, that bridge needs to be strong, and that participation between both parties is what's going to make the best future, the best products, the best treatments and healthcare for all of us.